Eastern Ukraine or East Ukraine generally refers to territories of Ukraine east of the Dnipro River, particularly Kharkiv, Luhansk and Donetsk oblasts. Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhzhia oblasts sometimes are also regarded as Eastern Ukraine. In regard to traditional territories, the area encompasses portions of the southern Sloboda Ukraine, Donbas, the western Azov littoral. Almost a third of the country's population lives within the region, which includes several cities with population of around 1 million. Within Ukraine, the region is the most highly urbanized, particularly portions of central Kharkiv Oblast, southwestern Luhansk Oblast, central, northern and eastern areas of Donetsk Oblast. The most common language in eastern Ukraine is Russian. The region stretches from southern areas of the central Russian upland to the northern shores of the Sea of Azov, from the eastern border with Russia to Black Sea and Dnieper lowlands to the western side of Dnieper. The major river of eastern Ukraine is Sevasky Donets, which gave the name to the main economical region for that portion of the country, Donbas. The territory is heavily urbanized and commonly associated with the Donbas. The three largest metropolitan cities form an industrial triangle within the region. Among the major cities with population of over 200,000 people are Kharkiv, Dnipro, Donetsk, Makiivka, Zaporizhzhia, Mariupol, Luhansk, Holyuka and Kamyansky. Cities of Donetsk and Makiivka create what is known as urban sprawl with very close proximity to other important cities such as Holyuka and Yanarkiv. A large majority of voters in eastern Ukraine approved Ukraine's declaration of independence in the 1991 referendum, although the numbers were not as high as in the West in 2014. Pro-Russian protests took place in parts of eastern Ukraine. Some of the protesters were tourists from Russia. The war in Donbass resulted in thousands of deaths and over 1 million people leaving their homes. As of 2016, about half of the territory of Donbas is controlled by the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic and Luhansk People's Republic. According to the 2001 census, the majority of eastern Ukraine's population are ethnic Ukrainians, while ethnic Russians form a significant minority. The most common language is Russian, having long dominated in government and the media. When Ukraine became independent, there were no Ukrainian language schools in Donetsk. Noticeable cultural differences in the region are more positive views on the Russian language and on the Soviet era and more negative views on Ukrainian nationalism. During elections, voters of the Eastern Party of Regions and presidential candidates with a pro-Russian and status quo platform, the electorate of CPU and Party of Regions was very loyal to them. But following the 2014 Ukrainian Revolution, the Party of Regions collapsed and the CPU was banned and declared illegal. Effective in August 2012, a law on regional languages did entitle any local language spoken by at least 10% of the population to be declared official within that area. Within weeks, Russian was declared as a regional language in several southern and eastern oblasts and cities. From that point, Russian could be used in those cities, oblasts, administrative office work and documents. On the 23rd of February 2014, the law on regional languages was abolished, making Ukrainian the sole state language at all levels, even in eastern Ukraine. But this vote was vetoed by acting President Alexander Turchynov on the 2nd of March. A February 2015 survey found that eastern oblasts preferred second official regional language over state language status for Russian. The 2012 law on regional languages was repealed by the Constitutional Court of Ukraine on 28 February 2018 when it ruled the law unconstitutional. Religion in eastern Ukraine. According to a 2016 survey of religion in Ukraine held by the Razumkov Center, 73.5% of the population in eastern Ukraine were Christians. 0.5% were Muslims. 0.3% were Jewish. And 0.3% were Hindus. Not religious and other believers not identifying with any of the listed major religious institutions constituted about 24.7% of the population. It also showed that approximately 55.6% of the population of eastern Ukraine declared to be believers, while 13.4% declared to be undecided or non-believers, and 3.5% declared to be atheist. A 2007 survey by the Razumkov Center asked, "Would you like to have Your region separated from Ukraine and joined another state? In eastern Ukraine, 77.9% of respondents disagreed. 10.4% agreed. And the rest were undecided. In a poll conducted by the Kyiv International Institute of Sociology in the first half of February 2014, 25.8% of those polled in East Ukraine believed Ukraine and Russia must unite into a single state. Nationwide, this percentage was 12.5%. A November 2015 poll carried out by rating group Ukraine in Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts. Except in Donetsk, People's Republic prefer th.